In the measure tool, we have a toolbar here that runs vertically. Starting at the top, we have a snapshot tool. This allows you to take pictures of the images. You can save the project to the cloud. You can load projects which you've previously saved. You can start a new bit. These are your first few options here in the toolbar. As we move down, we have our measure tools for area to add and subtract areas. We have a measure wheel, which can allow you to measure distances. Here you can drop pins, add text. You can even upload images from PDFs to overlay. So this is useful if you're going to be doing site plans and takeoffs. You can count spots. You can add circles, add rectangles, and add arrows. Of course, you have an undo button and some centering buttons, which allow you to fit objects to the screen effectively. Down at the bottom, you have the option to toggle between feet and yards. Here on the left, you'll see that there's counted spot options. We'll get to that when we go in count options. Here in the left panel, this is where you're going to have your different layers. So as we create a measuring map, we're going to have these different layers here on the side. As you can see here, I've got some saved projects. So these are projects which we've worked on previously. You're able to save as many projects as you want right here in PavementSoft and load them up at any time. So let's go ahead and get started on measuring this parking lot. Here I can turn these labels off if I'd like, or I can leave them on. There we go, I'm just going to turn them off for now. So to get started, I'm defaulted to the add a new area. So if I click on that, I can go ahead and just measure my area here really quickly. Just give myself a nice outline. All right, here we go, almost done. Just with a few clicks, I'm able to drop these points, and I'll show you here how we're able to refine this. So if I'm in a rush and I maybe make a mistake, I'm just going to double click to close this up. So you can see when I close it up, it's going to automatically color. And then I've got this text here that is right in the middle. I can modify that over here on the left-hand side. I can modify any of these items. So let me just say this is the parking lot. So I'm just going to type that in. Right next to my text, right here on the left, you can see how I have these little T's. This allows me to change the type of font that I'm using. So I'm going to stick with the sans serif. I'm going to make that font just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to underline it. Now I don't like the color white there. I want to go with something that's a little bit darker, so I'm going to go with black. This allows me to change the background color as well of the text, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave that for now. So once I'm happy with that, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave it right at the top of my area. Now, as I mentioned, I think I made a little mistake here. So let me move in and I can just start to modify these items and really make some refinements, make sure that I'm really spot on. So you can see I've kind of missed that mark there. I can just drag and drop any of these circle points, and that will allow me to just really make a refinement up there. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that in here I have an island. So I can go in and easily remove that island right here. Well, all I need to do is click on this subtract area and then just select my island. So again, I'm just going to do this really quickly. Not going to do a very good job of it. You can see that I missed a lot of that island. So now I'm able to go in and refine it and just move these points out a little bit here. So again, you can take some real time to get in there and make sure that this is just done extremely well. And a lot of our users really are professionals when it comes to this stuff, in moving these points around and getting the measurements just right. So there we go. That's good enough for the purposes here. So we can see that this is a 30,000 square foot lot. And I've just removed over here in red, I've removed a 306 foot island. So that's 306 square feet. So let's say I want to switch this to yards. I'm just going to come down here on my navigation bar, on my toolbar, and I'm going to toggle between square yards. So there we go. So we can see that the total parking lot is 3,423 square yards. That island that I removed is 34 yards. That's great. So again, I can go ahead and I can measure out additional areas. Let me just add one here really quickly just so you can see what that looks like. So boom, boom, boom. And again, this is not done well, but I can go in after the fact and let's just call this parking lot number 2. I can move that. This is really useful. We see a lot of our contractors using this to put together their site plans. So you can put in notes here for day 1, day 2. So as you see, as you go along, you're just adding these different layers here on the left-hand side. So we've got parking lot 1, we've got parking lot 2 here, and we're ready to go. Our next tool here is the measure tool, and this is just like a measure wheel. So if I need to figure out what the length of this curb and gutter is around the area of the property, I can just go ahead and do that. And again, similar tools here. I can change that color, and I can also change that text. Curb and gutter. Okay. And I can even put in there 384 feet. There we go. So that's useful for me here. I can then go ahead and use these additional tools. So let's say there's something of note that I really need to put down here. Let's say there's a gas line that I'm aware of over here in the corner. I can drop a pin. So I'm just going to click on my pin tool, and I can drop a pin right here. There we go. Just going to put gas line. Make sure that my crew is aware of that. I'm going to change that to a red. And I'm going to change the color of that font as well to a red. Now, another thing that's interesting here is that I'm able to upload an image. So let's say I walked the property and I found that image of that gas line or that pothole, and I want my crew to make sure that they see that. I just go here and I go to my images that I've uploaded. I can do this from my phone, from my iPad, or from my computer if I'm sitting back down. So here's what I want to take a picture of, and I want to just include that there. Boom. So now when my crew sees this, or if I want to share this with my client can see that. I'm going to make this pop here a little bit with a red color. I'm just going to go ahead and select that. Okay, that's better. All right, great. So now I want to move that just so it's a little bit more visible. So now again, I can click on this and that image is saved here. So that's a beautiful thing about PavementSoft, is that everything's saved to the cloud so you can access it anytime, anywhere. All right, a couple more tools that we've got. We've just got this count spot tool, which is really useful if you're needing to count spots and you don't want to lose your place. So you just click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my parking spots. This is really helpful if you're in a big area. You can also do multiple colors of spots. Right down here, you can see that you've got that option. I can then add drawings. Here's a little circle. So if I need to highlight something, I can just go ahead and drop a circle there. There we go. So here's an area. Let me just do that. So there's my area there. And I want to drop a text over that area. And I just want to say, this is a repair area. Now I could have used the pin tool, but yeah, I just wanted to use this and let you see what that looks like. So this is a repair area here. That looks good. All right, and then I've got some arrows here too that I can drop in, right? And really call out. So again, this is just a way that you can really put together a nice professional overview and a plan, and show exactly how your project should move forward. Again, those are some of the tools that we've got here. There's a whole lot more. What you can do from here, which is again another huge benefit of having an A to Z software, is that you can save this, you can save it to your desktop, or you can go ahead and you can just attach this directly to your bid. So you go ahead and find your bid. Let's say it's bid number 7. I can say this is the sitemap. Hit save. That's now part of bid 7. It's saved there. It'll always be there. I can come back to it. If I want to, I could also just save this project to the cloud. So let's say this is project 7. I can save it to the cloud, and now I always have it right here if I ever need to. So if I go away, if I navigate from this, I'm out of here. I come back 2 days later or 2 months later or 2 years later, and I need to pull that up. I can go ahead and I can just come in and I can search for my previous projects that I've done. So let's pull up one of the projects that I've finished here in the past. There we go. Here's a project. There's a project. So I have all these projects which I've previously done, and I have access to any of these projects at any time. It's a beautiful tool. It helps to streamline and keep everything in one place. And I hope that's a helpful overview. If you need more information or would like to learn how to use the map even more effectively, feel free to give us a call. Our customer support is free. Our training is free and complimentary. We want to make sure that you're using this right and that you're getting the most benefit from PavementSoft as possible. Thank you.